Saints sent Tommy DeVito to the garage to get made. Falcons lost in the rain to the 1-win Panthers. Dave, who says...
Two wins now.
That's right. Who says Christmas dreams can't come true? Thomas, hit that intro.
Welcome to the award-winning Saints Happy Hour podcast. Seriously, this podcast has won awards. American standards are dropping every day. The show features Ralph, the best host in the world, who can barely pronounce his own name, much less anyone else's.
Marcus Calloway.
Dave is that dude who loves taking bathroom breaks. He's mad about almost anything, so make sure to lower your volume when he speaks.
Put that freaking clown meme back up that I made. Jesus Christ.
Andrew has sources, watches tapes, and knows football. He rarely shows up on time and wants to commit crimes to help the Saints win.
Sean Payton would have done illegal things. Don't tell me I'm wrong, because you know it's true.
Oh, and there's also Kevin, who is great at doing mock drafts, but struggles to actually watch Saints games or have a functioning relationship.
Budrich wants to know how the doctor's doing.
That ended.
Anyway, grab a drink, sit back, and enjoy the insanity.
Rain.
No! All right, everybody, welcome to another edition of Saints Happy Hour podcast. As always, we are presented to you by Hard Hide Ponchatoula Strawberry Whiskey. I'm Ralph Marlboro, joined by Dave, Andrew. Hello to everybody watching on the live stream on Twitch right now. I can see Jerry, Run Amok, Who Dat Golfer, Jason Champagne, Budrich, and more. The Saints are back winning. We got a ton of people joining us. It's amazing. Thanks, you guys. We are going to recap the Saints ending Tommy DeVito mania. Derek Carr looking good. And it is officially Andrew IPA season. Plus, the hotline is feeling festive, and we answer your questions, and we preview the Saints Thursday trip to LA. Before we begin, remember to subscribe to Saints Happy Hour wherever you get your podcast. And I have to mention our MVP contest. I forgot to unzip the blade, Thomas. Jerry, the knife. Jerry at JLD Hot Sauces and Knives gave me this custom-made knife with the Saints Happy Hour logo. We are going to rattle that bad boy off at the end of the season. And if we reach $100 in donations tonight, as always, somebody gets to choose, the MVP does, which minibar bottle from my gigantic minibar booze collection I'm going to poison myself with. Tonight's options: banana rum cream, disgusting, and peach. It's not even schnapps. It's peach whiskey and caramel liqueur. This looks really.
What are the percentages on that? Can you give us percentages?
I can give you the alcohol by volume for the banana rum cream is 15% alcohol. That's it. And this one is 70 proof, the peach and caramel.
All right, first one.
There's your pick.
Yeah.
If you mix them, it could be dangerous. Thomas, I got the old puking bucket here.
That's good,
and I'm still recovering. I want to remind people, consider donating via Stream Elements by typing !donate in the chat and click the link that appears. Twitch takes about 50% when you donate using bits. So this way you could spend less and it's easier to get me drunk. It's a win-win. Even Andrew knows how to use it. So do it. Do we have MVP leader already, Thomas?
Yes, sir. Hatchet John won last week, and tonight we already have it going. We are 20%. Thanks to Real Uncommittee for subscribing, to Who Dat Golfer for subscribing, and to Jason Champagne, who is the MVP leader, for gifting 2 subs. Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
Nice.
I'm drinking Hard Hide Ponchatoula Strawberry Whiskey and Strawberry Lemonade. It's delicious as always. I've been drinking this a lot. But like John is right. Like, it's the Hard Hide and the Strawberry Lemonade. It just goes amazing together. Andrew, what IPA are you drinking?
Well, I brought 3 down. I figured, I don't know if you want to put up a poll, Thomas, and the listeners can pick.
I couldn't find the other beer that you mentioned.
Well, the listeners can pick, but I've got 3 different IPAs here. I got the Basic City IPA, the Sixth Lord. It is a New World IPA, hop-centric with a Citra Dank by the Sick by order of the sixth Lord. It's
Okay, this is weird because it says on Untapped, it says this has 0 IBUs, which that doesn't make any sense.
that doesn't make any sense.
Voodoo Ranger Imperial, which you also have,
choice
which is what you
number
normally
2
drink, has 70 IBUs.
Choice number 2, we have the Star Hill Brewery Northern Lights IPA. This is 6.2% alcohol by volume, and I don't know. There's no other description.
What is that one called? Northern what?
Northern Lights.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know
Lastly,
what Northern Lights are?
we have the Voodoo Ranger Imperial IPA. That's, you guys know I hate that one. That's the one I've had a couple times on the show. Tiger Saint says I should have the nasty one. Trust me, they're all nasty.
The one that smells like a Christmas tree.
Well, they all are.
Well,
Do you want
I'm
to put
looking
a
at it
poll up,
now.
Thomas?
I did.
Okay.
Well, I just want to give my opinion because I'm actually looking this up. The first one that you mentioned, I can't remember the name, the Basic City, that came in at 0 IBUs according to this thing, which means it wouldn't be hoppy. It's also a mix between West and East, and it says it's a little bit sweeter. So I don't think that's going to be too bad for you. I wouldn't pick that one.
No.
Honestly, I would either go with the Voodoo Ranger. It's got
Your
70
boy Alan
IBUs.
wants you to mix them, man.
Or try the
them, I would do
Northern
that.
Lights. The Northern Lights is definitely like a West Coast piney one too. So I think either one of those two.
Oh,
Go with either one.
That's more.
I've had the Voodoo Ranger, so I'll save
go
that if we hit the donation goal, then I'll switch to that.
So
But
Dave,
I'll go with Northern Lights.
Dave, what are you drinking?
I just finished this glass of Royal Hawaiian Mai Tai that I need to go refill, so I'm going to go refill them right now.
Northern Lights.
So,
Oh, this smells like a grapefruit. It is so hoppy.
Andrew,
God.
more hilarious. Is it more hilarious that it took the Saints until December to figure out to throw the ball to Jimmy Graham in the red zone, or to run play action with Derek Carr? What's more hilarious or / frustrating with the Saints as we celebrate their 2-game win streak?
I mean, as the stan of all Jimmy Graham stans, I mean, we were all saying it. We were all why isn't Jimmy playing? And, you know, even Nick Underhill was getting on it. He was like, I forget what Nick said. He was like, he's 37 years old. Like, why do you guys still think he's any good? And it wasn't so much that I thought like Jimmy Graham was amazing, but I was watching Juwan Johnson hold, false start, not run correct routes, like basically incapable of doing anything right. I was watching Foster Moreau drop easy passes in the end zone, wide open. And, you know, Taysom was doing his thing, but like, it's not like tight end was playing well.
And Jimmy Graham caught a touchdown against Green Bay. So the argument of he's completely washed, you know, we see it at practice.
And he did it in preseason. He did it in
preseason. So like,
so
it really made
and
no
then
sense.
on top of that, the offense was struggling in the red zone. You know, they were really having a problem punching it in. Well, we remember the Falcons game when I think they had 7 trips in the red zone, 5 field goals, 2 turnovers. Couldn't get it done. And it's like now Jimmy Graham's every time he's in, like they know the ball's coming to him and he's either scoring anyway or Keith Kirkwood is running a route behind him. He pulls the safety away and Keith Kirkwood is scoring touchdowns now. So not only is he scoring for himself, he's creating opportunities for others because now teams watch tape and they're like, yeah, Jimmy's in the game. We got to cover him. So it's made life easier for Derek Carr even when he's not throwing to Jimmy. And like, he could have been playing all season.
Yeah.
Who knows what I mean, when you think about how many games they lost because they didn't cash in the red zone, it's at least 3. Like how many of those games would they have won if Jimmy Graham was active?
Just give them one and they're in great position.
It's unbelievable.
Well, look, I agree with all that. Use them more, needs to be used more, should have been used more earlier. And Ralph, I wouldn't say that Jimmy Graham is washed, but you know, like let's call a spade a spade. Jimmy Graham played the fewest number of snaps of anybody on offense. He only played 10 snaps. Like Jimmy Graham only comes in certain situations. Now he's doing very good at what he's doing, but like he's not a tight end that's gonna like from 2000. He's washed compared to 2011. He can't go out there every snap.
But I
mean,
get it. I get it. He's got one
But
skill.
he's got plenty left in the tank, is what you mean to say.
He's got plenty. I mean, listen, he can do the thing that the Saints need desperately.
Need him to do.
Help them.
Yeah,
need
he
him
can
to
do the thing. He can do
here's
Jimmy
my
Graham
question.
things still.
Here's my question to you, Dave. How are the vibes in the dome? I saw a lot of blue. It wasn't like Detroit. There's a lot of. Was it? I mean,
Again, I was not sitting in my normal seats. I had different seats again this week, but a good amount of Giants fans for sure. But vibes were, it was quite, I would not say that we had any sort of home field advantage.
Would you say the attendance was better than the Panthers game at least?
Maybe. I mean,
Panthers game was like 70% full.
Yeah, a little bit more than that.
Did the Superdome erupt with joy like Saints Twitter did when the field goal for the Panthers went through and the Falcons had lost?
Yeah, we saw it. Yeah, we did.
How much?
By the way, in my new seats, I was sitting. Apparently, my father-in-law's corporate seats that he has or has access to, apparently, which are very, very nice seats. Apparently, they're a couple of rows in front of Brett, who is a big. I don't think it's Brett from Lafayette.
Brett from Lafayette.
But another Brett sounded like as if he was British.
Bougie Brett.
But he sits like 2 or 3 rows behind, and he was cursing up a storm in front of my kids, my 11-year-old, and all of his friends. So good job, Brett. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Brett knows.
Yeah, I'm sure living with you, your son has never heard.
No, actually, my friend, that other dad, who's a friend of mine that I took, he's actually worse than me. His kid could probably teach me some stuff. But anyway, good to see you, Brett. Thanks for the picture. Keep doing what you're doing, and whatever you do to afford those tickets, make sure you keep doing
chopping
that.
wood.
Dave, this is a serious question for you, Dave.
Don't make any adjustments.
How much of Sunday was a huge setback for Italian Americans? Or are they just bad at quarterbacking?
I have so many things to say about the Italian. And look, last week I was.
Come on, give it to me, Ralph. Hey.
Okay, look. First of all, this right here. This is point A. Is like. Italians are the only group or nationality, apparently, that is still okay to openly mock and insult and have no fear of getting canceled.
Right.
If I may use modern parlance, like you're doing hand gestures, you're doing mocking hand gestures.
What in the actual man?
If you said something about Jewish people or
Polish,
gay people or black people.
Never.
That would be done. This would be done. But for some reason in society, and I'm not talking about this podcast in particular.
Mamma mia, it's a spicy meatball.
I'm talking about society. For some reason, Italians are still allowed to be made fun of. And you know what?
I was Tommy DeVito mania. They took it personal, as Michael Jordan would say.
Well,
they took it personally.
First of all, last week I was leaning into. I'm Italian, of course. I'm Italian American.
I was saying was
and last
that
week, obviously, I was leaning into it, but I do want to say, you know what? There's a reason why Italian Americans are still the one group you can make fun of, because we're the fucking best, and we don't give a shit.
Here we go.
Kevin in the chat says the Irish, German, and British are on line 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah, Germans.
Yeah,
you can make fun of Germans.
Yeah.
You can make fun of Germans.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Your boy Alan says that Tommy Cutlets drowned his sorrows with some Italian tapas.
Well, I tweeted after the game. I said the Saints took Tommy Cutlets and put him on some Leidenheimer, slapped some blue plate mayo on him, dressed him up, and ate him for lunch. And I actually got a like from the governor, Governor
Edwards.
Governor John Bell.
Wow,
he liked my tweet.
Highlighting?
No, not the highlight.
No, not highlighting. So, but how much of it?
Wait. I'm not done with the Italian.
Okay,
we still have to talk about the Italian American stuff. Suck
on this, bitch.
Yeah, I'm Italian. Is that a surprise? No, last week I was leaning into it, but look, this week you said that Tommy DeVito was enraged after, he's done with the Italian American comment. Like, I don't get, why is this a big deal? The fucking trophy is named Lombardi, okay? Italians have their fucking, they have their stamp all over the NFL since
because
they started.
it's because it's
why is this
New
such a big deal that another Italian American?
Because it's New York. If it was Tommy DeVito playing for the Saints or Atlanta or wherever, and they were a 5-win team, no one would care. But it's New York, so people care.
All right.
That's what it is. New York. But how much of this, Andrew, how much of this game Sunday was it could possibly be real and maybe sustainable and go on for the next 3 weeks? And how much of it is just the Giants are an absolute ass and the Saints just took him to the garage and had him made, and that was it?
I thought last week,
great question, Ralph.
The Saints didn't play well, and Carolina was absolute ass. And the Saints kind of sleptwalk to a win, and they were fortunate to block a punt, get a touchdown. I thought the Saints road graded New York in this game, so I felt like it was different in the sense that yes, New York is ass. Tommy DeVito was way overrated. Give DA some credit. I thought they came in with a good plan to contain him, to take away what he does well, force him to make plays with his arm, move to his left. And he couldn't do it consistently. So I think the Saints put together a really nice plan. But I think more so than that, like Carr was a little bit check down Charlie, but like making the right reads, making the accurate throws, not turning the football over, just being accurate with the football. I thought the defense was outstanding. Obviously, in special teams made a couple plays, but like I just thought it was complimentary football. The Saints played really well in this game. And I felt watching this game very different than I did Carolina. I think we can all agree. Like when we watch Carolina, I was like, man, they play any other team in the league, they're losing this game. In fact, Andy Dalton starts for Carolina, we might be losing this game. Against the Giants, I felt the opposite. I felt like, man, they could play teams that are a lot better, and I'm not sure they lose. And I know it was only 7-6 at halftime, but I gotta say, like that atrocious call on Alontae Taylor, like we don't know, man, because like the Saints were going to get a punt, they were going to get set up in great field position with like more than 2 minutes left. So like if that flag doesn't come, maybe they go score a touchdown, or at minimum it's 10-3, right? So like that's a 6-point swing at minimum.
I never like the second half, Dave. I'll be honest, like it was the most enjoyable Saints Sunday of the year. Not before the Atlanta win, which was the Atlanta loss, which is just like the cherry on top. But like when it got to 14-6 or 17-6, I was completely and utterly at ease, and I was watching the Falcons on my iPad lose in the rain. Like when it got to be 17-6, at no point was I like Tommy DeVito is gonna get 2 touchdowns and the Giants are getting to 20. I was like, it's 17-6. It is a wrap.
Ball game. Yeah,
it's a wrap. Did you?
Yeah, I mean, I
don't
think Andrew,
feel that way.
Yeah, I kind of, I think so. I mean, at no point was I ever nervous, and I think Andrew hit the nail on the head. This week and last week they're both wins, but last week felt like a Pyrrhic victory. We won, but at what cost? We looked like just absolute garbage. This week it was like, you know what? We could have beaten a team even better than the Giants potentially.
And the thing is, like, Carr played awesome. For maybe besides the Colts, like that was his best game of the season. And he did it without Olave, without Michael Thomas. And like I just think I mean, I know we'll get into the Rams game, but I think this game Thursday is massive because like we're about to find out. Yeah. Like it's like, is this team turning a corner and is Derek Carr starting to figure it out? And is he gonna elevate his level and play well? Because if he does, like, I do think this team is headed to the playoffs and can make some noise. But if Carr is going to just kind of revert back to inconsistent and like, here's the thing, the Rams are 7-7, but like they're a much stronger 7-7 than the Saints. And like when Stafford was out, they looked bad for a little while, but like their losses are at Dallas, at Baltimore. They lost to San Francisco. So like they've played teams very different than the Saints schedule.
Yeah.
I forgot what I was going to say.
Were you about to say something positive, Dave, about the 2-game win streak? I felt like you were, and you forced it back down inside you.
It's like Ralph with the shot.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what I was going to say?
Yeah.
Honestly, like, right, you know how I feel? I have more confused emotions than a 13-year-old boy going through puberty. Like, I don't know what to believe anymore. Like, I don't know if I like Derek Carr. I hate him. I don't know which Derek Carr we're going to get. I don't know.
I feel that way too.
I don't know. I still don't know if I want the Saints to like make the playoffs, just because like I don't know if I want to pay for a playoff ticket and watch them lose in the playoffs. But I also think like I don't know. Maybe they've turned the corner. Maybe this is like, oh, they're playing their best football when it matters most. Like, holy shit! Like I just
I'm 90% sure I
confused.
want
I am
DA
so
fired,
confused.
but like not 100. You know.
All I know is that listening to Taylor Swift makes everything feel better. That's all I know.
Here's the thing, and then
Did you
I'll
lose a
get
bet?
and then I'll get to which drink I'm going to drink.
Shut up!
The thing that's so hilarious yet infuriating about the NFC South is there is a possibility that the Saints can win the South, and all they will have had to do is be slightly better than average for the month of December.
I see. I don't know
Like
what I
they
feel
could
about
beat
that.
the Rams, Tampa could lose to Jacksonville, the Saints could go to Tampa, win, and it's a wrap, and they'll have won 4 in a row, and like in no point could we be like, oh, they're playing amazing, this is incredible. Like they just are playing pretty good, and that's all it takes. Like you just have to be good for 2 more weeks, and you can win this stupid division.
Well, I know you got a drink, and you can start getting your drink ready while I said, I do want to actually say, maybe I should have said this earlier at the top. Ralph, you were right. I was wrong. You're smart. I'm stupid.
Wow.
You're better looking. I'm not as good looking.
Keep going.
You know, we did the mailbag. We talked about the Giants game. You were talking about all the sacks Tommy DeVito takes. And I said, nah, I don't know. And I wasn't really being serious, but look, that was what I stood on. And I said, no, Tommy DeVito, he's going to have magic. He's like Tebow. He's going to figure it out. He's going to pull something out. But no, I mean, he just kept on getting his ass kicked. Fortunately, the Saints defense, I think, is a lot better than any of the other defense he's had to face.
Here's how you like that, Dave, huh?
We're getting canceled.
Green Bay's defense.
I want to self-cancel. I'm Italian American. I'm on this podcast. I want to.
What should I drink?
Hey.
What's the lead say? Should I drink the
Hatchet
peach?
John is in the lead.
Hatchet John gets the pick, but I think you should tell him to do the peach whiskey. That's
tell him the drinks, man.
Oh, I'll do the peach. It's gross.
No, you got to do the stronger one.
Yeah, the peach one is the stronger one.
Wait, the puke meter.
Tiger Saint says to buy IPA stock with the amount of Jimmy touchdowns.
You ever get like a flavored like a daiquiri, and like you drink it, but like you leave like a third of it if you get like the giant one, and then it's like it's out the next day, and it's like on your kitchen table or whatever, and it smells kind of nasty, like it's gone bad. This is what this smells like.
Andrew, how was your IPA? Have you said anything?
I'm still working on it. It's awful.
No, is it? It's gross.
It's gross.
How does it compare to the Voodoo Ranger?
You know, the Voodoo Ranger, at least, like, it's so strong that about halfway into it, I'm like already buzzed.
Here we go.
You know, this is like, it's if this makes any sense, it's like lighter and more drinkable, but worse.
Gross.
All right.
Oh,
Here we go.
Doesn't make sense at all. Glug, 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 glug. Don't forget to give it a rating, Ralph. Your face. Your face.
I don't think you like that one.
Oh, it's like at least a 7, I think.
I would say 8, maybe 8.
Maybe a 9?
8.5.
There's no halves. There's no halves, man.
9. Oh God.
Oh shit.
Dude.
A 9?
That's one of the worst ones.
Yeah, like it. Did you know? Wow. It took all my willpower and all my crippleness to force it down.
That bad, huh?
It was bad. And like, here's the thing. Like, I was not like as Shaq would say,
Hey, Sally, I
peach-
need assistance.
peach whiskey / liqueur. I was not familiar with your game. You almost had me there. Ooh, God damn.
Mm.
Ooh. So Tiger Saint said it was so bad it killed the feed.
Yeah, what happened there?
Everything went black.
Thomas, Thomas hit the wrong button there.
It was awful, but
It's going to be one less
Can I do a
gabagool for you.
not
Where's
so
your
quick
wormwood?
donation update?
do a donation
Yes,
update.
yes,
Yes,
you
Thomas,
may.
go ahead.
Where's your wormwood,
And
bro?
reset the clock too.
Where's your
Yeah,
absinthe?
We had so many new
Dave's
donations.
got to ship it to me.
So many
Yeah,
new
you got to
donations.
give me money.
I'll ship it to you. Don't worry. I'll give you. I'll PayPal you, Dave. Don't worry.
May I? We had so many new donations thanks to Tiger Saint for 1k bits, to Run Amok for $5, to Tiger Saint again for 1k bits, to Aldi Marino $7, Hatchet John $20, Tiger Saint another 1k bits, Tiger Saint 500 bits, and Hatchet John 5 gifted subs. And right now Hatchet John I think is in the lead if I added bits correctly with 4.5k bits. Right behind him Tiger Saint.
All right. Thank you, guys.
IPA, Jason. IPA tastes worse than toilet water, definitely.
Ugh, gross.
And yeah, I guess I will drink a second one if we hit the
There
next
you go.
donation threshold.
Yeah.
Ugh.
So, guys, we are presented by Hardhide Ponchatoula Strawberry Whiskey. Hardhide Ponchatoula Strawberry Whiskey is a strawberry flavored whiskey blended with aged wheat whiskey, American light whiskey, fresh strawberries from Ponchatoula, Louisiana. It's 86 proof, blended and bottled in New Orleans, Louisiana at the Porch Jam Distillery. Hardhide Strawberry Whiskey is not for the thin-skinned. You can pick up a bottle wherever fine spirits are sold in Louisiana, Mississippi, Texas, Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, and Tennessee. To learn more and to find a location to get a bottle near you, go to hardhidestrawberrywhiskey.com. Hardhide Ponchatoula Strawberry Whiskey is supporting Saints Happy Hour all football season long. So support the people who support the show. Grab a bottle of Hardhide Ponchatoula Strawberry Whiskey today. Remember, you can do text-to-speech donations, $20. You do it. You can interrupt the show. British guy AI voice will just stop the show cold and read whatever you texted in. For
Yeah, Hatchet
donations.
John forgot to put the donation message when he donated $20, unfortunately, because he could have done that
I'm gonna have
already.
to do it again.
Andrew, the Saints' run defense had been atrocious for like 6 straight weeks. And I know you had said it was okay against Carolina, but Carolina still ran for 200 yards. It was back yesterday. Giants, 18 carries, 60 yards, non-Italian American carries, 12 for 24 yards.
Jesus.
So is the run defense back, or is the Giants'
technically, that
offensive
was
line just
politically correct.
bad? Which
you
one?
didn't really you didn't really use any slurs. You were just stating facts.
No, it's just saying, yeah. No, I didn't use any slurs, but
It was very PC of you.
yeah.
Yeah.
But is did the Saints, did they find something yesterday with the run defense?
If you had said non-WAP yards, now that would have been offensive. No, that would have been offensive.
I don't know if I would have said that. I'm glad that you did, Dave.
I can say anything I want.
Yeah,
I've heard
that's right.
That's such an old time slur. You could say it and people would be like, is that some sort of advanced statistic like EPA? Like it's an old timey slur.
WAP.
I think people might not know what that is. Like you could maybe get away with saying that's an advanced statistic.
Do people know what a WAP salad is? Is that like a
Wait,
New
that's a
Orleans
slur?
thing?
I gotta edit the hotline then. Wait, guys.
Oh, one.
Oh, shit.
The hotline's gonna get us canceled. We do not endorse the opinions of the hotline. We only play them.
Fuck you, Dave.
Yep.
I can't believe. By the way, just sidebar.
Hold on. Stop. Play that again, please.
Fuck you, Dave.
Is that
Thanks,
Hatchet
Hatchet
John?
John, for 20 buckaroos.
You could have gotten a lot more words for your $20.
I know, man.
With that.
It's like $5 a word.
Wait,
man.
no, sidebar. Did you guys listen to the French guy who called and left that long message. If the patrons, you guys need to listen to the unedited hotline. That guy was hilarious. I listened to the entire thing. Ralph, you and I should have done a whole show where we talk where we do mystery science theater or whatever, where we talk about the
break it down.
Yeah. My God, that was hilarious. He was very insulting to you, by the way, Ralph.
He was. I only listened to about half of it. It hurt my feelings so bad.
He called again this week, by the way.
Did he? Oh,
yeah.
Come on.
Oh,
let's
yes.
Go. How
But
long
this
was
time
it?
he wasn't drunk. This time.
Oh.
Hopefully,
what is his
he
name?
made
Wilfred?
the highlight reel.
What's up?
What is it? What was his name? Will something?
I
Wilfred?
feel like the people that love the hotline really, really love the hotline, and they call quite often. We appreciate it.
Well, real quick, Ralph, to answer your question, because we never got around to that. Stopping Saquon Barkley was a huge factor in the game, and it's part of the reason I'm most encouraged about that win. Because Tommy DeVito not playing that well, not the most shocking thing. Derek Carr playing well was encouraging, but it's not like the Giants defense. It's not like the Saints were walking into a buzzsaw, especially in the Superdome. But Saquon Barkley's had a great season. He's in a class of his own. I mean, he's one of the best backs in the league, and he's been hard to stop all year. And the Saints,
and they have no
stuffed him in a locker.
problem giving him the Giants. They would have had no problem giving him 35 carries.
Yeah. And the Saints completely stuffed him. I thought it was interesting to listen to Tyrann Mathieu kind of talk about, hey, does this give you guys confidence moving forward that you were able to stop him like that? And he was basically like, well, it was DeMario that did all of it. It was just like, yeah, we didn't really do anything. We just let DeMario go to work, and it was DeMario did it all by himself. But that first quarter by DeMario Davis, I asked after the quarter ended if that was the best quarter of his career. I remember DeMario Davis, I want to say 2 or 3 years ago in Seattle.
In the rain.
In the rain. It was one of those games he had 15 tackles, a forced fumble, a couple sacks. I remember walking out of that game and just being like, dude, I don't know if a linebacker's ever play that good for the Saints. I remember he that was probably the best game of his career. But, I mean, he was on that level in the first quarter. Absolutely unbelievable performance.
Yeah, and it's
I see you have his fat head on your wall.
I do. I have a fat head. I got DeMario Davis. I'm gonna get the Minxie giant fat head. I might get French guy that keeps calling the hotline. I might get his fat head like a cigarette, like wee with a guy with a beret.
Yep. And
you
I
can make fun of French
Yeah.
guys, right?
Actually,
And-
when we were
and
talking about nationalities you can make fun of, I think you can still make fun of French.
You can
people, right?
definitely make fun of the
Sure. I've got some French blood in me, so that's definitely allowed.
Yeah.
But Jimmy Graham too, man. I gotta say, inducting him into our Wall of Fame, it feels even greater after this ridiculous season he's having.
I mean, Dave.
Okay, hold on. We got to play that again.
What about Tommy Cutlets?
Yeah, with Biz.
Can you play that again, Thomas?
He is.
Here it is. When you donate with Biz, there's a slight delay, unfortunately.
Just got another Tommy Cutlets sack.
I like it.
No, it actually pronounced Passanio correctly.
I'm shocked. The pronunciation of Passanio was halfway decent.
Pat, better than me.
Way better.
So the Saints, we got to take a moment and enjoy the motivational power of DA, where his own team is confused during his post-game talks. Thomas, play that sound of DA.
It doesn't matter what anybody outside of this little room right here thinks, says, or does. It matters about this group right here. Mm-hmm. And you guys believing in yourselves, because your coaches freaking believe in you. All right? Believe in yourself. Stick together as a team. Let's do this thing as a team. The best teams play their best in December. All right? And we've won 2 by 3 touchdowns. All right? And that's what we need to do. And look, the most important thing we can do now is what? Keep Yeah.
They don't know what to say.
Get our body back. Hey.
The most important thing is.
All I gotta say is, oh no. Yeah, it's just look,
Not
I'm gonna
even
be
done
honest.
with this one.
Well, tough.
God.
I gotta be honest. Like, it's just there's nothing. I get nothing from DA. None of that. Like John Sumrall came to Tulane and did a press conference, and he had everybody in that room that wanting to run through a wall. And the Saints just won that game, and like I'm just like waiting for it to end. It's like I'm just waiting for him to stop talking so I can get to Club Dub and start dancing and FaceTime my girl. Like, what the hell is going on? Like, it's just I don't know. He's so
DA is
vanilla. He is so vanilla. He's so vanilla.
DA is the boss you have that you don't hate that you don't hate them necessarily, but you whenever they try to give like a motivational speech, you like roll your eyes. You're like, oh my god, with this again.
Na 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 na.
I'm not going to hate on DA on a 2-game win streak.
No,
I'm going to wait.
I'm not hating.
I'll wait till Thursday.
banana rum cream, with caramelized banana flavors.
Caramelized.
This isn't going to be that bad. Just drink it and get it over with.
I'm hoping this is like up
he's
your alley.
gonna pretend that it's bad, but it's 15%. It's
Yeah, you're right, Andrew. But here's the thing. Now I'm a little nervous because I didn't respect the peach, and it almost got me.
my second IPA is gonna be way worse than this.
You're right, Andrew. That was lame.
Yep.
I don't lie to the people.
Where's
People
the wormwood? Dave, send him the wormwood.
People think I make jokes and I play it up for their effect.
What
but
the puke
I'm not-
meter?
Yeah.
that is like
two.
That's a one.
That was tasty. One is tasty, man.
It wasn't that it was good. It's so low alcohol content. Like my liver is dead. Like if you want to penetrate my liver and make me feel something, you got to be at least 70 proof to make me feel something at all. I think the more fun is the IPA. I think
here's the Sixth Lord. I'm taking a sip.
Oh.
Do we need a
That's
puke
the
meter
lame
for
one.
Andrew?
Oh,
That's like the sweet one.
Do we need a puke
God,
meter
it
for
is
Andrew?
sweet. It's like this. First of all, there's no way this is zero IBU.
No, I think that's no. I don't think any beer is 0 IBU.
That is worse. That is so. The first one, Northern Lights, was way more hoppy, like front forward. This one, you take a sip and you're like, oh, it's not that bad. And then at the end, it just pops you with like hoppy sweetness. It is awful.
Dave, I was thinking about this.
This one is worse. Oh God,
Dave, I was thinking about this watching the Saints' new improved pass rush. Has DA found a pass rush by taking Cam off the field on passing downs and adding Zach Baun? Dave, do we need to fire up the Baun on the Bayou t-shirt printing again?
That would imply that we actually ever printed shirts to begin with. So the real answer to the question is
we had Thomas do a mock-up somewhere.
Did we?
Thomas pulling out the files.
I don't think so, but yeah.
I was gonna say if we already had the work, maybe yes, maybe I would print them. No, I wouldn't get too excited.
You're our pass rush aficionado. 7 sacks, Dave. How do you feel about it?
See, exactly. I didn't even believe you last week when you were telling me. I thought I couldn't believe he got sacked 9 times in a game, and the Saints got him 7 times. I couldn't believe it.
Dude, the Giants are going to break the all-time sack record by David Carr. They're at 75 with 3 weeks to go.
Did you just use David Carr correctly?
I did.
Yes.
I used David Carr correctly in a sentence.
Wow.
I'm all grown up now. It only took
Insane.
9 months.
That might be the upset of the year.
It might be.
And
Ralph
we've got
versus...
Nikolai's wife in the chat.
No.
Oh, wow.
Okay, what?
Yeah.
He's driving, but wants to know if you've tried one of his beers yet.
We did try it.
No, actually, all of us tried it.
We all did.
Okay. Nikolai, don't swerve off the road here, but we actually all tried them at the same time at my house last week when everybody was here the day after the show.
The live show, yeah.
Before we went to dinner at Pesh, we all met up
I liked it.
at my house.
And I like the beer, and I'm going to tell you this, Nikolai. I liked it a whole hell of a lot better than the what was the wine before it? The mead.
Mead. I like the mead.
Yeah.
See,
I like the mead when I mixed it with
the club soda.
Yeah.
The mead with the club soda was strong.
Actually, I think I'm out on like regular beer at my house. So I think I'm actually going to have one of those after this Mai Tai. Actually,
Give us a on-air review.
So
I don't think I ever got a description of. He might have told me Friday night, and I just totally don't remember. But I don't remember what he said. You know, the style and tasting notes and all that.
Yeah, get Rachel Beth. Give us the flavor profile, please, if you don't mind.
So Andrew, people get on me on Twitter for all kinds of stuff, but they got on me for this, but I don't care, and you probably will too. Zach Baun, I believe the Saints are going to use him more as a pass rusher. I think he's going to succeed. I think he's going to have a. If the Saints make the playoffs, he's going to have a really nice 3 weeks, maybe even a nice playoff game, and he's going to get 3-4 sacks, whatever it is. And he's a free agent after this year, and he's going to leave, and he's going to go somewhere and be a full-time pass rusher, and he's going to be good, and that is going to enrage me more than Trey Hendrickson leaving and going to Cincinnati and being good. Because the Saints, I feel like they completely and utterly have wasted Zach Baun. He should have been doing this for 4 years. I don't know. Instead, they tried to make him an off-ball linebacker. Now they're just letting him do what he was good at in college. And I'm going to be happy because I think it's going to help him in these last 3 weeks. But it also infuriates me that, like, it took them this long to figure out that Zach Baun is a pretty nice little pass rusher.
Well, I'm going to both agree and disagree with you on that one. The reason I agree with you is I think, he's been miscast. They tried to square peg, round hole, like, based on your measurements, like you're going to be a linebacker. And he's tried to do it. He's seen the field some. He's been a great special teams guy for the Saints for a while now. So, I mean, give him credit there. I know it's easy to overlook that, but the reason he has continued to make this team is because he's really good in the kicking game. He really is. The Saints feel that way. But yeah, I mean, he's been out of position. The only reason I disagree with you a little bit is because they've never really needed him to pass rush before this year. They never really had a problem. You know, like sacks the last few years, like basically since Baun has been on the team, like, you know, Cam Jordan just got bad. You know, before this year, they had Davenport, they had Hendrickson, they had Granderson. Like, they had a lot of guys that were rotating in, and Caden Ellis was getting a lot of sacks, blitzing from the linebacker spot very effectively. Demario Davis has been a great linebacking blitzer. So they haven't really needed this until now. And so it's nice to see Baun play where he can be effective and use him to his skill set and strength, but like, I don't know that he was one of the better edge guys on the team until this year, because of just like Peyton Turner going down, Cam Jordan getting older. Like, it's just, you know, he's getting an opportunity and he's making the most of it.
You know, Dave, not that, you know, we talk about, I don't want to get into the whole, does he have to win 9 games or 8 games or whatever to save his job? But I feel like
he's got to win Thursday.
No, I think it's safe. Nope, I think he's done. I think he's hit the threshold.
I think Thursday is it. I think it is it.
I think if they lose out,
I just think the Saints, they've won 2 games in a row, and this is the tipping point in the season, Thursday. It's like either they lose to the Rams and all the anti-DA, anti-Derek Carr, anti-winning the division, blow it up people. They're going to be like, told you so, this team sucks. I think they easily go to Tampa the following week and lose again.
But then
right?
I can't get behind that because they have 2 division games after that. Like he could totally safely.
Yeah,
This
it's
is
true.
the one game you could lose, I think. And but I regardless, I think they could lose out, and I still think they give him another chance. I think they're very forgiving. I don't think that they're going to just fire him.
I think if they lose out, Diaz done.
I know we you know.
And I'm not saying that based on. I'm not saying that based off like my opinion.
No. I was gonna say, like, you're saying that if you went to the live show, you know, you're saying that based on you know, hard information, facts,
sources.
And look, you know, Nick Underhill noted, I didn't notice it, but I'm sure he's right. At the game, they didn't announce Dennis Allen's name after the player introductions. And that doesn't mean that he's fired. I think what that means is they don't
avoiding the fan boos.
Yeah, they don't want fans booing their coach before the game. So to do that, they're just not going to announce him. But I don't know. But I don't think this I disagree that this Rams game has anything to do with it. I think the 2 games after that are way more important.
I don't know. I feel. We'll get to my Rams starts in the game. The one thing that
Jimmy, I love you, bro. I'm so thrilled that you're turning your season around, but if you could take a break from scoring touchdowns for a week.
I need more touchdowns. I need
this is awful.
I need like Jimmy Graham to get to double-digit touchdowns.
Oh, did you see, you know, they've been asking him about dunking the football. And he's kind of been like, yeah, the fine.
Do it. Dude, we will raise the fine. The city will raise the fine.
He's been talking about the fine. He's been talking about the penalty. But did you see in the broadcast this week, he left the door open. When he was talking to the announcer, he was like, you know, if I'm going to do it, it's going to have to be the right moment. And I'm like, Falcons game at home, baby. Week 18, it's coming.
Yeah. Falcons game at home.
I agree.
Blowing out the checked out 1-2-3 on Cancun Falcons in like a 35-10 route where the penalty doesn't even matter.
No, I want to ask you the opposite question. Close game, 4th quarter, Jimmy Graham scores the touchdown that maybe, let's say, puts the Saints up by 3 with like 2 minutes or less to go. Do you want him to dunk it or no? Take the penalty for the dunk.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I think that'd be cool. Like,
that's a tight situation. Like that could, you know.
I think I'd be cool with it. Like,
okay.
You know,
I'm down with it. I say fuck it. I don't care what the situation is. Jimmy Graham scores against the Falcons.
Ralph, since
if he scores 2 touchdowns against the Falcons, do it twice.
Ralph, since your second shot was so pathetic, what's it going to take for you to do a third one? And I'll match you and drink the third IPA.
Wow.
And it's Voodoo Ranger, so it's the strongest.
3 IPA.
Wow. Here's the thing. I gotta do.
I'm just here sipping on Nikolai's beer.
Because we're at the Saints Happy Hour, we are so committed to getting people content even during holiday weeks. Me and Dave have to record a mailbag after this and a preview, and I have to get up at 4:45 a.m. for work tomorrow. Because I have to give a presentation to people in a different country. So listen, I'll do the shot.
You're waking up at 4:45 a.m. to give a presentation to Thomas?
That's right. I'll do the shot, but I gotta have $75. Like no $50. I gotta have I gotta have $75.
I'm down with that.
If you I'll get it to 75, I'll do it.
I'm watching what some of the people in the chat are saying. If Jimmy Graham scores to make it 28-3, Groupie's got to hit the extra point, obviously. But if Jimmy Graham scores, it's 27-3, and he dunks,
dude,
I will no longer believe that I'm on Earth. Like I'll think it's just all a dream. It's heaven.
If the Saints beat Arthur Smith 28-3, Dave, they got to fire him, right? They got to fire him. Like you lose to Carolina in the rain, and then you lose the season finale.
Arthur Smith is done. He's done.
Well, Losing to Carolina is way worse than
I don't
losing
know.
to
I
us.
was arguing with the athletic football guys today, Nate Tyson and Robert Mays. They were saying that Arthur Smith is not. He's going to be around as long as the Saints are paying Derek Carr. And I
Wait a minute. I like Robert Mays and respect him. Does he interact with you?
He does. And
I said, lost a lot of respect.
And he said Arthur Smith's going to be there as long as Derek Carr. And I said, you promise?
Don't threaten me with a good time, Robert.
I mean, I like if you enjoy hearing about Falcon Schadenfreude, like the Athletic Football Show podcast today, they did like a 10-minute I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed segment on the Falcons. It was amazing. They moved the goalpost for the Falcons and pretended like they can do year 4 of their rebuild. It was incredible. It made my morning while I was drinking coffee. It's just incredible.
Was there hard hide in your coffee?
No, because I was at work. I can't drink at work. Maybe if I was working from home.
Jesus.
The hotline this week, 12 different calls. The longest call was 2.5 minutes long. The uncensored hotline is 7.5 minutes long. People were pumped. Adam, the radio voice, called, even though he promised us like 3 weeks ago he was never going to call again. He keeps calling, which is fine. And Budridge,
no, it's encouraged. We don't want him to stop calling. Yeah.
We can break promises with us. And Budridge is on a roll with another banger call. But that's the uncensored one for patrons only. Become a patron, you can get access to it. Thomas, play the hotline.
It's time for this week's hottest takes from the Saints Happy Hour Hotline.
Yeah, ruminating about the Saints took me back to my childhood, in the Bronze Age. Made me think of a game I had. It was a football game, and you put the little players on the field, and you turn it on, and the game vibrated. And sometimes the players went straight, sometimes they went around in circles, sometimes they just ran in random patterns. Kind of reminds me of this year's Saints.
Hello, boyos. I just wanted to call and say that Mr. Stephen Judge in the Discord called out the Carolina win 9-7 on field goals because the sun never sets on the Judge Empire. Champagne out.
That's accurate.
Hey, gabagool! The Saints took care of business. Handled the Italian idiot. Handled the Brooklyn bitch. The Sicilian shithead. He got sacked. For 9 times, I'm pretty sure. Brian Brzee, Canelo Pasio, and Derek Carr. You know the Saints are 5-0 now when he throws for over 2 touchdown passes? It's real. Check it up. It was a masterclass performance by the Saints defense. It didn't let the Giants run over him. Darren Waller, okay, he had a couple catches and every now and then, but it didn't matter. The Giants couldn't do shit. Tommy DeVito, go home and get your fucking shine box.
Okay, this is a comment that I would like to make on Derek Carr. As you see, Derek Carr has been paid an exponential amount of money for a very short time for a very mid-quarterback paid by the Saints. He has shown signs of being good in the past, but Dennis Allen, with him with the Raiders and with him with the Saints, has not been very good. And I just think that, is it Dennis Allen's fault? Is it Derek Carr's fault? Is it the Saints' fault for paying him too much money? Does Derek Carr still have an ego? I mean, Derek Carr's getting paid the same money as Daniel Jones, so, I mean, Daniel Jones is worse than Derek Carr for sure, but they're kind of having similar seasons for when Daniel Jones is playing. At least Daniel Jones can run. We love you.
I just finished watching the Saints game, but honestly, I'm happier about the Falcons' loss. Like, they knew how important this was, and they just threw it away.
Saints Stompicus here. All right. For Dave and the other slow learners in the classroom, let us review. Tommy Cutlets. His little spaghetti leprechaun of an agent. Italy. Dave for thinking that Mook could come in and beat us on our own toys. The referees, although even they kind of gave up because you could see they knew a lost cause when they saw it. They couldn't say this, Cutlets. No, indeed. Stomp on who that mafia got the spicy meatball. Yeah.
That was a quality hotline this week.
You know, we haven't talked about Rizzy yet.
We have not.
Who? What?
Thomas, do you have the video that I sent you? Rizzy channeled the pettiness of the Sean Payton. I sent it to you. He wore. Apparently, Rizzy went.
We didn't talk about the young kids.
He went to the rival high school of Tommy DeVito, so he wore the shirt going into the dome, like walking in. He had he's from the rival high school, and then him and Headley did some sort of amazing celebration. I sent you that video, Thomas. And if you could pull it up, I don't even know what they were celebrating because I don't remember Headley doing anything amazing. But him and Rizzy
Headley dropped. What are you talking about? My UDFA son dropped a pun inside the 5. It was.
Yeah, that was nice, man. That was like a nice
freaking dime.
That was like a nice little lob wedge.
Oh, what? No. Jesus. I gotta
have fun.
I'm like halfway through this.
I gotta hit it at the start of the hotline, by the way, guys, but I didn't want to interrupt. Maybe let me think while I'm at it. Hatchet John, big 50 buckaroos. And 5 gifted subs from Tiger Saint. Also thanks to Tiger Saint. To Hondo Bits and to Andrew's dad for 1.5K bits.
All right, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go make a shot of Hardhide. And do a shot of Hardhide out the multi-boot for you people. I'll prep it and be back.
Damn. Hatchet Johnson the lead, 10K, sweet 10K bits, and Tiger Saint second place, 7K bits.
This is the worst podcast ever.
Jesus Christ, man.
God. Another IPA. I seriously, 3 IPAs in one sitting is the most I've ever had in my life.
Now you're gonna know how Ralph feels when he does the podcast, man.
And I saved the worst for last, too. Ugh. Ralph better do something awful, because...
This is going to be fun.
I think 3 IPAs is worse than what Ralph's doing, honestly. I would rather do 3 shots. I'm like, especially the second one that Ralph did. Easy.
When's Dave gonna drink something?
I don't know. Last week I did extra meth nog, but
maybe Dave should eat something disgusting, you know? That's also an option.
Ooh, I like that. All right, Ralph, what did you get?
So then he can go and shit in the bathroom.
What'd you get, Ralphie?
Ralph got, was getting the
I got a multi-boot of the Hardhide.
Okay.
86 proof. My wife, who currently took her own temperature, she has 102.7 degree fever.
How did she take that temperature?
Orally, Dave. It's not. What do you mean? How did she take this? Jesus. She said.
Dave, you pervert.
She said, quote unquote, can people donate to end the freaking show? I'm dying. I'm dying. That's an exact.
So he said that.
Exact quote.
Donate to end the show.
I'm dying. By the way, Seattle is tied.
Tell her if she donates 10K bits in the next 5 minutes, we will end the show. Tell her.
Thomas, she will reach through the internet.
Is Philly winning? We need Philly to win.
10-10 Seattle.
Come on, Philly.
Is trying to get back in the wild card race. Here we go.
By the way, hands up if you're in the finals of your or the semifinals of your fantasy football league. That's me. All right, let's go.
Let's go. Yeah, my fraternity fantasy league, which is, let's see, in year 22 of its existence. I have been to the championship in 22 years, I think about 5 times. I have only won once.
I just did that shot. I think the Hardhide, the banana cream, and the peach.
Since it was the Hardhide, I'm gonna put the only correct score, man, on the puke meter.
I mean, the Hardhide is awesome, but it's just the combination of the products is not good for me right now.
You can go ahead and give this a 10 on the puke.
It's a 10.
for me.
It's
This
not the
IPA.
IPA.
Oh my God.
All right, so
I don't even have anything to like rinse my palate with. It's just IPA after IPA.
Ugh. See, so we got to get to the mailbag. The Saints Happy Hour Viewer Mailbag is brought to you by Hardhide Ponchatoula Strawberry Whiskey. You see the sign behind us, guys. You can pick up a bottle wherever fine spirits are sold in Louisiana, Mississippi, Texas, Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, and Tennessee. To learn more and to find a location to get a bottle near you, go to hardhidestrawberrywhiskey.com. Thomas, take it to the top. Finger guns time.
Ralph, you better let me see some of this money. I'm going to drink all these IPAs.
I'll send you a Christmas card.
Jesus. Fine meats and cheeses.
Fine meats and cheeses. So Thomas, what's first up with the questions?
All right, crazy questions this week. First
Actually,
one.
you guys need to send me your addresses. You guys should be on my Christmas card list. I got to see if we have extra Christmas cards.
Yeah, I can send you my address. No problem, man.
I'll send. You don't fucking threaten me. I will send the fucking Christmas card to Poland.
All right.
I will fucking make sure that shit's on Santa's sleigh and in your stocking Christmas morning.
Make sure to send one to England as well, to Bruce HC. He asks, Dave, how thick is the dust on that box of Baun on the Bayou t-shirts? Will they ever see the light of day?
We just addressed that.
Yeah. I mean, you spoiled the questions.
You know,
man. You spoiled the questions.
Thomas, mark that down. We could have Dave make up one Baun on the Bayou t-shirt. We could all sign it, and it could be a raffle. We can raffle it off in the spring.
But you need to design it, though. You need to design it, Thomas.
I think we need to give away. I think we need to give
Baun in the middle of a Bayou.
I think we need to give away Baun on the Bayou t-shirts to our next live show.
A Baun on the Bayou button?
Ooh.
Just saying. I had so many people want Fire DA buttons. They like, I couldn't make the live show, but I want the Fire DA button. Can you send me the Fire DA button? I'm like,
my family. So a lot of my family was at the live show, and they were huge fans of the Sun Never Sets on the Juge Empire buttons. That was very popular.
Very popular.
They didn't buy any, though.
We're very popular with the Juge family.
Yeah.
Surprisingly. What's next, Thomas?
All right. Next question from Badrich. Short one. He asks, who's saltier right now? DA haters or on Twitter or Falcons fans?
This is a great question. And this is funny because there is a giant disconnect between actual Falcons fans and the nerds about Arthur Smith. Like, athletic football show.
Explain this to me.
The Robert May.
Are you saying that there are nerds who are defending Arthur
yes,
Smith?
They're like
the number of bear out. Arthur
they're
Smith
like he's going to get year 4.
Great.
He can get a quarterback.
Yeah, keep it going.
So he's like he's going to get year 4. He's going to get a quarterback.
What are the Falcons fans saying?
Fuck that guy, get him out of here. Like,
they want him fired.
They are like, we're like, most Falcons fans are like, we're done. This is year 3. We were supposed to win this crummy ass division. We spent all this money in free agency. We were supposed to be better. You're an offensive coach, and your offense is worse.
Right.
Well, first of all, the shots are starting to the shots are starting to add up because Ralph couldn't even say free agency properly. But secondly, I mean, this is interesting in the sense that the Falcons, yes, they're 6-8, which on its surface is bad. It's a mediocre season, but they've now lost to Washington, Carolina, Arizona. And what was the other team, Ralph? There was another bottom dweller.
Tennessee.
To
Will
Levis.
His first start. Yeah.
So Atlanta, you look at them, they're 6-8, but 4 of the losses, it's like, man, it was right there for you. All you had to say what you will about DA, at least the Saints are beating the crap teams.
It's the only thing saving DA. is he hammers the bad teams.
And Atlanta, and the thing is, Arthur Smith is an offensive guy. He's an offensive guy.
That's right.
And so if he can't make Kyle Pitts and Bijan Robinson and Drake London, and like if he can't make that work, like at least DA is putting out, like I think Arthur Smith is the like 0.5 version of offensive DA. He's even worse. So like by all means, Falcons,
keep him.
Please keep him.
Give him another.
Falcons fans nerds are like,
do your job.
The numbers,
that's what it's about.
The numbers say we should keep him, and he's a good coach. And then Falcons fans are like, his last name is Smith, and he coaches the Falcons. He needs to go.
But I will say, like having a good quarterback, like it changes everything. And I just want to point out, like, look how bad the Rams were this year when Stafford was out, and look at like when Aaron Rodgers was out, when he was injured for the Packers. I'm not talking about this year, but
the
like
Steelers this year, they want to run Mike Tomlin out.
I feel like when your quarterback's out, the drop off is usually pretty significant, and so especially if you have a really good quarterback, I don't know. It's not about the position players as much as it is about the quarterback. I find.
I think Arthur Smith's a terrible coach. I hope they keep him.
We didn't mention.
I agree.
We were talking about the game earlier, the Giants game that the Saints won. We didn't mention motivational tactics. We didn't talk about Jameis Winston's briefcase. We didn't find out what was in the briefcase.
Yeah, that was interesting.
The report was that the briefcase was empty, and that he said that there's nothing in there, and that's what's keeping them between greatness. Nothing, but that turned out to be that was incorrectly reported. That was just somebody's funny tweet. That,
but wasn't that DA's message? Empty tanks.
I don't know.
Yeah,
but
gas tanks. You got anything left in the tank, veteran? Save my job, please.
We don't officially know what was in the briefcase.
By the way,
I will say, Ralph, it was interesting that the Falcons.
I think it was crackers.
I saw the Falcoholic was celebrating. That you want to talk about the Saints pass rush and how much you haven't liked it this year.
I have not.
I saw a tweet by the Falcoholic that they finally hit 30 sacks for the first time since 2018. And I was like, my God, you guys are second lining about 30 sacks.
There's 30
I
sacks.
thought our pass rush was bad.
That's right. We're like, they got 7 to get to 30 this year. We're like, this pass rush is an abomination. And the Falcons are like, we got 30 sacks. It's working out. By the way, I just want to say this. The Eagles are a fraud. If the Saints can win the South and somehow the Eagles would be the 5 seed and or not Dallas, I would love that. Eagles.
Honestly, Dallas didn't look too good.
Is that mathematically possible? I don't think that's mathematically.
No, I mean, if the Eagles would lose tonight, it might be.
The Eagles are about to go up a touchdown.
Yeah. So, what's next, Thomas?
Okay, next question from Aldi Marino, who's on fire. He asks, the robot apocalypse is upon us, and the Terminators are coming. You get to team up with one Saints player to save the world. Who you got?
Can I go with first quarter?
No, you cannot pick Taysom. That's
why.
Can I get first quarter?
That was the second
Davis
part of the question, but I
Giants?
didn't include it.
No, it's not. Albie Marino was not smart enough. Sorry, Albie Marino.
He was in Discord, man. I didn't want it to be too long, man. Come on.
No, please. Taysom.
I'm going with Demario Davis. First quarter against the Giants. I want him in that exact moment.
I think the most fun answer would be Jameis. Like he might get you out, and you might survive, and you laugh and you chuckle, but you might also die.
You might be the first one dead.
You might be the first one dead. Like I think Jameis is my answer. Like I'm rolling the dice. We're either getting out and we're having a beer and we're laughing about it, or I'm the first one dead. I think Jameis is the fun.
I was gonna say Jamal Williams because either way, I'm entertained no matter what happens. Like I feel like he'll be positive and smiling regardless. But I feel like I've betrayed my own UDFA son. Senator Hudat makes a good point. Lou Headley.
Oh yeah, Lou Headley.
He seems like he could survive in the wild.
He's seen some stuff. He's seen some stuff. He could make it through. That's a good choice. So what's next, Thomas?
Okay, final question of the show belongs to CDWPT95. And he asks, if you could rewind to the offseason and choose this year's starting QB from Gardner Minshew, Baker Mayfield, or Derek Carr, which QB would you choose?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Same contract?
Yeah,
I guess.
I mean, no.
I mean, I mean, obviously Baker is playing better than all three of them by a long shot. I mean, Baker is playing incredible this year.
Yeah.
It's kind of shocking how bad Tampa is when you consider how well Baker is baking.
I mean, the thing is, though, I'll say this: like Green Bay, their defense is dreadful. They made Tommy DeVito look competent, so of course Baker burned them to the ground. Just saying. I would probably go.
I just hate Baker.
My answer is not Derek Carr. Like either of the other two.
You would pick
Baker Italian.
Yeah, I think I probably.
I don't think. Minshew plays good for the Colts, but Steichen is a really good offensive coordinator. I don't know that Pete with Gardner Minshew, like then the Saints might be 5-8 or 5-9 or 4-10 with Gardner Minshew at quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, I think the answer is Baker Mayfield, and I'll be honest, I have never been a believer in that guy. I've never liked him as a quarterback and as a player, but
he's been good.
If he had put up the same numbers with the Saints, like they'd probably be, gosh, I don't know, they're 7-7 now. I mean, we'd be 9-5 probably.
Oh.
You know,
Baker, and the thing about Baker, you know, whatever happened to him in Cleveland, like, and you know, they kind of crapped on him on the way out of the door. Like Tampa, like that team, they love him. Like they play, for him, and like he was ridiculously good against Green Bay. I'm curious to see how he does against Jackson.
It's more sickening when you compare the contracts.
Oh, it's totally sickening.
Baker's going to get paid this offseason. I can promise you that.
Maybe it'll be by us. Maybe we can overpay for Baker too.
He's born to be a Falcon.
But you know, I mean, you know how it goes. Like I'm sure Baker will be revert back to the mean next year once he gets paid. You know,
who would be the funniest Falcon quarterback? Tannehill, Gardner Minshew.
I hate the way you say Tannehill.
I'm trying to think of the funniest. Kirk Cousins on one leg.
Jacoby Brissett kind of cooked this week.
He did.
Jake Brisket.
We got a Tyrod Taylor sighting this week.
We did.
Yeah, we did.
Up close and personal.
Did you guys see Teddy Bridgewater's retiring?
Right by the boat.
That's right. Teddy Bridgewater is retiring. Saints.
Hey, shout out to that guy, man.
Saints Hall of Famer.
You know, Teddy is my favorite quarterback that played for the Saints, besides Drew Brees, maybe ever.
Really?
I mean, who else would you name?
Taysom.
Yeah, there you go.
I mean, Taysom is my favorite non-quarterback quarterback.
I don't know. I don't know all of them as well as you do.
Taysom is just a favorite player.
I like him better than Bobby Hebert. I would say my second favorite's Aaron Brooks. He won a playoff game.
I'm Teddy all day over AB.
About Archie. You didn't like Archie?
No. I like Archie.
He's before my time.
So.
I mean, how can you not like Andy Dalton? Come on, Andy.
Thanks for the questions.
I don't mind Andy Dalton.
Jameis? Come on, man.
Jameis, thanks for the questions, guys. Keep them coming. Remember, if we don't get to them on the main show, me and Dave will use them in the mailbag. We try to use all the questions you guys send. Thomas, give us a donation update.
No new donations, unfortunately. Hatchet John is still in the lead with 10k bits. Tiger Saint right behind him, 7k bits, so there's still a chance.
You guys can't afford for us to take any more donations.
We can. I mean,
You're gonna have to shut it off.
Ralph's liver is, asking for
my
help.
liver is dying.
I'm not drinking another IPA.
I can't even say the words free.
I mean, like there is.
I'll take a shot before I drink another IPA.
Well, look, Kevin's not here,
Dave,
but
what
Andrew,
drinks do you have? Dave,
I do want to make you aware of the situation. Like there is a timeline that exists where, like, Ralph dies of cirrhosis, and like we're all at his funeral, and we all kind of have to like bear the blame and like.
I absolve you. I absolve you of the blame. I absolve you of the blame.
Thomas,
I will play all the highlights during his funeral.
We needed the money. We needed the money to buy ring lights.
Thomas, this is the most important thing I've ever said in my life. Check the fucking timestamp on that one. All right, God, Jesus.
Hey, Tomas,
check
the timestamp on this.
Whatever God that exists, check this timestamp on that one. I need to be absolved of all of my my hazing of Ralph. I mean, this is basically just this is now gonna. How long are we gonna do this? This is gonna become like a multi-year hazing process.
Hey, this is Monday and Tuesday nights. It's once a week. We're not responsible for Ralph's behavior any other day of the week.
Dave, you can be a pallbearer at my funeral, so you can let me down one more time.
He could be. He could be eating salads and chugging water 6 days a week. He'll be all right.
I'm just trying to cover our ass and absolve us of any legal responsibility.
I'm an adult. I make my own decision. I make my own poor decisions. Speaking of poor decisions, my gambling the last 3 weeks.
Segue.
My gambling the last 3 weeks. I was at one point, Dave. I was up to plus 19 units for the year. I'm now down to plus 600. It has been the gambling apocalypse in the Marlboro household the last 2 weeks. Like I'm literally I'm 1-7 in my last 2 weeks of gambling. It's horrible. It's horrible. So
I'm not gonna lie. I pounded +6 for the Giants.
I said that was a stay away. That was my only right move this week. I was like, I don't trust Tommy DeVito, but I don't trust the Saints either. But so speaking, the Saints play on a Thursday, short week. I don't know how many teams have played 2 Thursday night games this year. I feel like the Saints are one of the few, but they're playing the second Thursday night game. They hosted Jacksonville earlier in the year. Dave, So, well, before we get to Thomas, let's recap last week before I get to the Rams game.
Let's do that.
Yeah, quick thanks to Run Amok for
do
the
exactly
$5.
that.
I think I took a hit this week.
Quick thanks to Run Amok for $5, by the way. And let's look at what happened last week. Very interesting indeed.
Jimmy!
I forgot Juwan Johnson!
Jimmy! You lucked out with the Juwan Johnson, Dave. Plus 1 point for Andrew and Rob for predicting Saints to win. Plus 2 points for Dave for Juwan Johnson fantasy contribution. Jimmy, 1 point. Lynn Bowden, 0 points for Kevin, and minus 2 points. Unfortunately, 5.4 points for AT Perry. That's minus 2 points for Ralph. Sorry about that.
So Andrew's
Let's
one
see at
away
the
from
standings.
Kevin now.
Check this out.
20 and 19
Andrew.
points, I believe.
Let's go, Kevin. I'm coming for you,
close.
baby.
It's gonna come down to the wire, guys.
I've got 13. Ralph is pretty much out of it.
Yeah, I'm pretty much out of it. So I'll go first. The Saints, by the way, the Rams are a 4-point favorite.
4.5, right?
Man, it went down to 4. So let me
down
check.
to 4. Okay.
Let me check. Let me check.
So the Vegas is pounding the Saints so far.
A little bit. Let's take a look and see.
The action is on the Saints.
No, it's still. It was 4. It was 4. It's back to 4.5. So it's still
4.5. Okay.
4.5. Here's the thing with this game. And Andrew has said it earlier in the show. The Rams, they're 7-7, but their 7-7 is not the Saints 7-7. Like they have. This is the best quarterback the Saints are going to play all year, Matthew Stafford. I believe.
They also lost some games when Stafford was out, right? With an injury.
One. There's one. He just missed 1 week.
Yeah.
So they are 7-7.
That was their worst game of the year, though.
Yeah, they got crushed in Green Bay. But since then they've won 4-5. Their defense isn't great. They play a bunch of kids. Their defense is middling. Their offense is top 10th in points. Here's the thing with this game, though. If the Saints can get this game, I believe the momentum is going to carry them, and they're going to win the South. I think if they win Thursday, they'll probably beat Tampa the next week, and they'll wrap up the South. And we won't even have to worry about Atlanta. We can just laugh at them as the Saints are playing Jameis and a bunch of backups, and the Saints are focused on the playoffs, and Atlanta's focused on extending Arthur Smith deep into the next decade. So listen, I think the Saints are going to win this game. It's going to take a little bit of shenanigans because the Rams are better, but I think the Saints are going to find a way, and they're going to get this game. Either the Saints are winning this game, momentum's going to carry them to a division title, or they're going to lose in heartbreaking fashion, and the season will be over. They'll finish 7-10, and maybe they'll fire D out of a cannon. But I believe the Saints, they're playing well. They're going to win. The Saints are going to play so well. Al Davis, Andrew, he's going to be awake in the second half of this game on Amazon Prime. That's how well this. That's how.
What do you mean? You mean Al Michaels?
I mean Al Michaels is going to be awake.
What the hell?
I was going to say, Al Davis being awake is that's the tough. That's
rising from the dead.
You got cattle prods, Ralph.
Did I say Al Davis?
You got cattle prods.
Wow, I meant. And
I didn't. Wait a minute. What?
Al Davis? We're going to preview that bitch, and I'm going to be drunk as fuck. Accurate. So Saints 23.
Oh, jeez.
Al Davis 17. No, Saints 20. Saints 23. Rams 17. Thomas, I don't know who I have left to play for the Saints.
Lynn Bowden, for example.
Then that sounds like a winner. Lynn Bowden it is. That's a good choice. That's a good choice.
All right.
Bowden.
Can I go?
You can go, Dave.
Since I'm in second to last place. Look, I was wrong last week. I'm a man. I can admit that. I wasn't even close. I like the way the Saints looked last week. They looked good. I'm not sure that that's the real Saints, though. I think that the Saints have had the benefit of playing some incredibly terrible teams the last few weeks, and I think the Rams are a much better team than any of the teams they've had to play lately, and they've got to travel 2 time zones to go do it on a short week. I don't think the Saints are going to win this game, but I do think it's going to be close. But I don't think this means the season's over, and I don't want them to lose because I want DA to be fired. I just honestly think that the Rams are a slightly better team, and I think DA is at the point in his career where, and Ralph and I discussed this before, he beats worse teams, but he has trouble with better teams. What? Go ahead.
Go ahead. I was gonna ask, when was the last time the Saints won a road Thursday night game?
I don't know. Yeah, I have no idea.
They definitely did it in Atlanta. I know that.
You know,
we did it in Carolina in 2014 too.
I think it's going to be. I think the defense is going to continue to play well like they have been. So I think it's going to be a low-scoring affair. I just don't think the offense is going to do enough and score enough. So I'm going with. I got to look it up actually. I'm going. Well, put it up there actually, Thomas. I went with Rams 17, Saints 16.
Oh, that's Heartbreak City.
I know.
Heartbreak Hotel.
I think it's going to be tough. And also, I think being this close, nobody's going to be coming for DA's head.
That doesn't matter. They'll come for DA's head
we'll see.
Either way.
And for player, you know what? Have I picked Jimmy Graham yet? Can I take Jimmy Graham?
I think
because he's Jimmy Graham, verbal meme. Zoolander, Will Ferrell, and Zoolander. Jimmy Graham is so hot right now.
So you want Jimmy Graham?
You bet your ass I want Jimmy Graham. Are you kidding me?
Damn, you waited for the right moment.
I did wait for the right moment. I didn't even mean to do that, but I'm taking it.
That's right. So, Andrew, who you got?
Well, I have no reason to pick the Saints to win this game. I think the Rams are better. I think they have the better coach. I think
You've
they have
been
the better
saying their house.
quarterback.
You've been telling me the last 2 days they're going to crush the Saints.
I think they have the better playmakers, and Cooper Kupp and that receiver whose name I can't pronounce. I'm not going to be a Ralph.
Puka.
Yeah. And Williams has been a nice running back for them. You know, they have Aaron Donald. I assume he's going to play. I know he was questionable last week. I didn't see him on the injury report today, so it looks like he's going to be a go.
Tutu Atwell's back too, and a guard that I can't pronounce his name.
Yeah, so like short week, the Saints have to travel to the West Coast, which is going to cost them a day of practice. Preparation wise, like everything is stacked against the Saints. And yet I'm full shenanigans.
Yes.
I think this is I believe in my heart. I want to believe that the most hilarious scenario
That's right.
is one where the Saints don't play that well. They get a couple weird shenanigans things. They win. It infuriates the anti-DA crowd because they're like, the Saints didn't even deserve to win this game. They sucked.
Like in my veins.
They shouldn't have had this win.
In my veins.
It ruins our draft pick, and now DA is going to stay. And
my God.
it's like 3 more years of torture just because of this win.
Saints are outgained by like 100 yards.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm going to inject this all into my veins. Saints 24, Rams 20. There will be no explainable reason. You will look at the stats. You will look at the turnover differential. You will look at the yards gained. You will look at who ran the ball better. You will look at every measurable stat. There will be no explanation for why the Saints won this game other than shenanigans.
I love it.
Thomas, can I pick shenanigans as my fantasy player?
I mean, if you want -2 points, man.
All right, what are my other options?
I'm looking at your players, and you are in a tough spot, man. I think you need to pick someone like Adam Prentice or something, man.
What about Keith Kirk? Can I roll with Keith Kirkwood?
Oh yeah, I think you can.
That's Derek Carr's guy. That is Derek Carr's guy.
That's Stace's guy. Yeah, his workout pal.
They were working out in California all off season together at a place.
Jimmy, if you could, Jimmy, if you could be like Moses and part the Red Sea for Keith Kirkwood again, so he could score another touchdown, that would be great.
Yeah. So
use divine intervention if you have to.
What did Kevin pick?
Do I need to call him?
Yeah, call him, man. Call him for the player. I'm gonna give his prediction in the meantime. Who do you think, guys, Kevin chose as the winner?
I'm
the only one that picked the Rams. So if he didn't pick the Rams,
he does live in St. Louis, and so he is very anti-Rams.
That's right. He hates Kroenke so much. I
forgot about that. I'm gonna just tell you that last week Andrew and Ralph teamed up, and Dave and Kevin teamed up, and this week is same story. Kevin picked the Rams to win.
All right.
He picked the
so
Rams.
Kevin, it was just revealed that you picked the Rams 34-28. I want you to know that I picked the Saints to win, Ralph picked the Saints to win, and your compadre Dave picked the Rams to win. Now,
let's go.
A repeat of last week.
It's a repeat of last week, and now this part is pretty salient. You are at 20 points and still in first place, which you've been at for a while.
But you're at 19.
But I'm at 19. I'm knocking on the door.
He's in the chat room. He's seen everything up to this point.
Okay. All right. So we need your player of the game.
Let's see. Dave picked Jimmy Graham. You got Keith Kirkwood, and Ralph has Lynn Bowden.
That's an obvious pick for you,
is
Kevin.
Blake Groupie still available for me?
Can he take Blake Groupie? Thomas.
Damn, he can. Damn,
yes,
I'm shocked.
You can take Blake.
I'm
shocked. Put me down for Blake Groupie.
Okay, well, 28's a little weird because it looks like, 4 touchdowns and no field goals, but
that's a pretty good pick, actually.
Yeah, it's a good pick. It's a good pick. All right,
Blake
Groupie it is. Thanks, buddy.
Nice.
That's actually why I picked 16 points, because that's 1 touchdown and 3 field goals. I was like, they're going to kick a lot of field goals.
I'm feeling my pick. I've never felt better about my pick.
I'm feeling my Jimmy Graham pick. I don't know about the game winner or the score, but Jimmy Graham, I'm pretty confident I'm going to win the plus.
I think Kirkwood might score twice.
Here's the thing, Andrew. When you're correct, you are so obnoxious, but I want this so bad for you. like you're so obnoxious. You'll just take over the open. You might even know you said you can't full disclosure. Andrew's like, hey, I'm flying to New Orleans or Baton Rouge to be with family. And your in-laws' house, the Wi-Fi is terrible. He's like, I don't know if I can be on the main show. If your prediction becomes true, you'll be doing the show live from a Starbucks somewhere, an undisclosed location in Baton Rouge next week.
From the local YMCA.
Yeah. So, all right. I listen. I want this. Here's the thing. I hate the Rams. I know people don't associate the no call with the Rams because of Bill Vinovich and all that. I do. I hate the Rams. No call. Flipper Anderson, Mike Lansford. The Rams have caused the Saints so much pain. It's about time the Saints.
Now, wait a minute. They won their first playoff game against the Rams.
I don't care.
You love Aaron Brooks.
It doesn't balance off the scales.
Oh, Saints. Yeah.
It doesn't balance off the scales. I want to inflict pain on like the 6 Rams fans that'll be at this game. I need Saints. I need this win. I need this win on Thursday so we can all have a Merry Christmas and root against Tampa, against Jacksonville. I need this win. I need y'all to get this done.
It's funny. The one thing you didn't mention, like the one reason I feel like I hate the Rams is like there were like those 2 or 3 years, the Drew Brees years, where we were like 4-0 or 5-0, and we would play the Rams, and they would be winless, and they would be the team that would beat us and like ruin our momentum.
Mark Bulger, that was Mark Bulger one year.
Those were the most maddening games to me.
Kind of cost us home field in 2011 when they beat us, and
those were the maddening games to me.
Yeah. So
like they had nothing. They had nothing to play for. They had 0 to play for. Like literally, weren't they a 0 win? Didn't we get them their first win in like 10 weeks or something like that?
That's right.
Like they had like 0.
Interim
to play
coach
for.
Jim Haslett beat the Saints. They were 0-8. The Saints were 4-4.
Yeah, right. That's what it was. I remember watching that from the. Was that Thanksgiving? Was that around Thanksgiving?
Why are you bringing this back up?
Why?
Because Ralph was talking about all the reasons he hated the Rams. And that's one of the reasons I hate the Rams.
It's
I think we were at the track one day watching it on TV. I think it was like Thanksgiving or Thanksgiving Day. And we were at New Orleans racetrack.
The fairgrounds. We had the track with the OTB.
The fairgrounds.
So, guys, thanks for joining us. Thanks for supporting the show. Thanks for listening. Thanks for supporting Saints Happy Hour. Oh, Thomas, dude, before I do the recap, donations. It was amazing tonight.
I'm like, what the hell, man? When we reached 3 donation goals. Fantastic job, guys. 8 different donators. Thanks to Real Uncle Mitty, to Aldi Marino, to Ranamuk, to Jason Champagne, to Andrew's dad, to Hodat Golfer, to Tiger Saint, and to the MVP, the legend himself with sweet 10k bits for the second week in a row, who is Hatchet. The one and only Hatchet John. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, I have to say, I probably won't be on the show next week. As Ralph said, my in-laws' Wi-Fi is horrendous, and and I keep everyone up when I do the show late. But Merry Christmas, everybody! Happy holidays! Thank you all so much for all the support. It's been a tremendous year.
It has
been. You guys are awesome to us, and. Look, I know it wasn't the season we all hoped for, but
still there.
Let's enjoy whatever's left, whatever is in store for us the rest of the way. Even if the Saints drop this one, there's a couple division games left. Like there might be some weird shit, and I keep going back to this. Like in my heart, I believe this. I'm gonna tell you guys this right now. All these years, when Sean Payton was coach and we went into the playoffs in favorable positions, only to get our guts ripped out by weird circumstantial playoff stuff. I believe in my heart that we're due to get into the playoffs with a trash team that we have no business being in the playoffs with, and the script reversing. I believe in my heart that we are fucking due for that shit.
It's time for a Chimera Beastquake.
It's time. Yeah. It's time for America wants Baker Mayfield. America wants the Rams versus the Lions in the playoffs. They don't want the Saints, but what they're going to get is DA and Derek Carr on a playoff heater, and they're going to be horrified that the Saints have won a couple playoff games. That's what I'm
and there's one thing I promise, and there's one thing I promise to all of you Saints Happy Hour podcast listeners out there, you will get Minxie Cat.
That's right.
Meowing in the background.
Yes.
I promise you that.
Yeah.
That cat will not die.
The Saints deliver, they don't deliver. Either way, you're getting Minxie.
Minxie Cat will be alive for a Saints Super Bowl this season.
Your podcast donations help keep Minxie alive. Diabetic.
She takes 2 insulin shots a day, people.
And those cost monies. So, just saying. So, guys, thanks for listening. Thanks for supporting Saints Happy Hour. Please go to saintshappyhour.com, become a patron, support the show. We can't do any of this without you. We can't have Thomas in Poland, the fun, the graphics, all of it. You guys make it happen. So thanks to Dave, Andrew, Kevin for calling in, giving his pick as usual. Thomas, the best producer on earth, running the show back in Poland. Remember, kids, if you're going to support a Saints podcast, you got to support the one that wins awards. Until next time, the bar is closed.